Varane, yeah, it's gonna win us the league.
That's you,
Sancho,
bro.
man like Sancho, gonna ball it out.
Man United 2, Brentford 2, another pre-season down, 2 more to go. First team is not quite there yet. Are you concerned with the preparation, or are you comfortable with where we're at? Got 2 good signings in, etc, etc. How are you feeling?
Nah, you've got to feel confident after that. You know, some boys getting good minutes. Good to see Donny get out. Mason was looking sharp. Just good to get everyone get some minutes and get some game time. I don't think they really care about the result, really. It's just getting minutes on the legs, and yeah, it's good to see everyone again.
Yeah. Any standout performance for you today?
Anthony Elanga. I mean, I don't want him to go out on loan, but I think for his growth personally, he has to go out on loan. If he gets 20, 30 games at a championship team, boy, he's going to be a baller.
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, he actually has really surprised me. Like you hear his name in the reserves. You see him doing his thing. He came in against Leicester when we lost. Remember, we had to play the Rezzies. We had to play. Yeah. Then he scored against Wolves. He started pre-season pretty well, but scored against QPR. Really good goal as well. Should have scored a couple more and got an assist. But Ahmad's there. But Elanga looks good.
For me personally, I would put Elanga out on loan. I mean, you can't go and spend 35 million and whatever we did on Ahmad and then say, yeah, see you later, mate. We waited until January. We signed him on deadline day or in the summer. We waited till January for the transfer to be completed, and he's looked sharp when he's played. I mean, Palestri looked sharp as well. Shoretiri, where do we stop? I mean, there's so many young players that are on the brink of the first team, but they just can't all play. And then we're looking at Lingard, Donny. There's so many players that want that start, and you've got to be ruthless, and that's why I think Ollie has to just say, look, you're in my plans, but chill, relax.
You're in my plans, but you're not really.
but not this season, but yeah, I think, like you said, Elanga scored against Wolves, scored against QPR, scored tonight. He looks quality. I know if anyone from that starting 11, obviously apart from the first teamers, is going to come in next and make that step, it's going to be him. He looks so composed.
So would you put him ahead of Diallo then? I know you said no because in terms of the money we spent on Diallo, but in terms of the ability from what you're seeing,
if we didn't spend 40 M's on him, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think Elanga, strides massively over Diallo, and that's not being.
Played enough.
Early days, big call.
Yeah, well, I think as you said, he looks ready for first team football. He's definitely too good for the 23. So I think 1 year out on loan, maybe championship, and then come back for next season and see how he's doing.
Let's get to the first teamers. I know there's a hell of a lot of them not playing, but one in particular, Paul Pogba.
You see his story?
He's talking to Varane. Okay, that's fine. They're both French. They won the World Cup together. Are you reading into that?
I don't think you can do that and then leave. You can't do that and then just leave, can you?
Okay.
I don't know. It's a sticky situation. Deep down, I think he's going to run down his contract and then leave on a free.
What would you do if you had to choose? Would you give him a contract extension, or would you give him the money?
My thing is this, right? I think we have to try and keep him, and I think we are trying to keep him.
Yeah.
But if we offer what we think he's worth and make him one of the highest paid players at the club, and he doesn't want to accept that because he wants a different challenge, cash, you have to sell him. Well, in my opinion.
If we trust Fabrizio on Twitter, that's what he said. And the next thing we want to focus on is sorting out Pogba.
Yeah.
Do you gamble with what you did with Sanchez, give him the biggest contract possible, keep him, maybe goes next summer, or do you let him run out his contract and get nothing for him? It's just.
I mean, would you give Pogba what he wants? Say, here's the checkbook, mate. You put what you want your salary to be because you're that good. Or would you have like a cap and say, well, no, hang on a minute, we don't want to go down the Sanchez route. I'm not putting Paul Pogba in the bracket of Sanchez because clearly he's not. Yeah. But in terms of breaking the wage structure, what would you do?
Give it to him. I mean, for me, in terms of technical ability, he's the best at the club.
Yeah,
I think he's better than Bruno. He's better than anything that we got. Just give it to him. I mean, I know it's extortionate, and I know the same thing you said about Sanchez, but let's be real, Flex. He is not Sanchez.
No,
Sanchez is Pogba's not gonna have that new contract and then score 2 goals in 3 years. It's just not gonna happen. And I think Varane signing, Sancho signing. If we get Camavinga, he's not gonna turn it down. I promise you. You can come back to this. He will not turn it down if we get Camavinga. We've already got Varane, got Sancho.
Do you think the project of him looking at it now as Paul Pogba? I'll come to you on this one. Yeah. Do you think that they can I don't know. Not that Man United needs selling, but almost give him a new package and say, look, we are actually, look at the players we're getting.
Yeah, I feel like we've said that before and haven't really. I know people don't like this excuse, but we haven't given him the players to play around. You know, that's why he plays so good at France. You know, he's playing with Kante, he's playing with all these good players. And for us, he's been playing with Herrera, you know, Fellaini, Matic, and these guys. And now he's got, you know, a proper team, Sancho, people who can, you know, assist as well, create chances. The burden's not just on him. I think. Go on.
Bruno, I'm in favour of you. I love Pogba as well, but just to come back, play devil's advocate, Bruno didn't need the players to play around him. You know, Bruno tore up with the same team.
The problem is, he's such
Big statement.
selling him now. It's just he's so hard to replace, especially in that double pivot we've got. And now with Varane, you know, I think there's rumours we're going to move to a 4-3-3 in midfield. I think that suits Pogba down to a T, to be honest. And I think, you know, I love watching him play, so I'll die to see him for one more year, and then you can go in the free next time.
Last thing before we wrap up, I'll start with you, then I'll come to you, then I'll come to you. Is Ollie going to challenge, and are we going to win something?
I said this controversial off here, and this is going to blow, but I don't think Ollie's the man. I've been Ollie out for quite a long time now. I don't know. I think getting the right players should be a title challenge, but is he? You know, Varane has to start, Sancho has to start. But I was saying this, you know, for a while when we were linked to Camavinga. Is he going to look at Camavinga and say, "Oh, he's young. Let's stick with McFred. They've got more experience. They played together longer." I just don't think.
You see Camavinga coming in and displacing the likes of McTominay and Fred.
Well, he's done that with Donny, and for me, one of the best players on the ball in our club is Donny van der Beek. He's so good on the ball. He receives it. He's so technically gifted, and he hasn't had a look in. And Lingard's coming back, and he's almost gonna, you know, just stroll straight back in like nothing happened. And for me, Donny is miles better than Lingard. I don't think anyone would disagree. And the fact that he's just not had any chances, and we know the technical ability that he has, I'm just worried Ollie's not going to play the right players.
Okay, so stern response there. Yourself?
But to reply to that actual comment, I think we'll win an FA Cup, but it's not enough.
You?
Well, I love Ollie, but I feel like this season, I think we'll struggle a little bit. I think we've pushed players like Bruno hard, and I think if we're going to do anything, I'd say maybe even next year, take a year for people to settle in.
He spent nearly 400 and something million.
Know, but we pushed players like Bruno so hard, and Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, where we've got so much out of them, and then to fail how we failed last season and just fall short, I think it's tough mentally.
I worry about that.
I'll be positive because I love him, and I think we'll challenge, but I don't think we will again. But yeah.
Okay, yourself?
No, I think that expectations are going to be there. You know, he still hasn't won a trophy. I mean, we've got a brilliant squad this season. You know, we filled in the gaps at centre back, at right wing. So I'm expecting, you know, top two. Can we challenge City? I'm not sure. City, you know, they've got a system. If they bring in Grealish, bring in Kane, you know, they're going to be pretty unstoppable. But what I would say is, even if he does fail, he gets sacked or whatever, we've built a proper platform where we can grow up. You know, with Mourinho, with Van Gaal, they leave and then we start all again. Yeah. I feel like he's built
foundations look like they're there for this, isn't it?
That for the next manager, whoever it is, come in. You got a young squad, a talented squad, and you can go on from there. So.
No, the signings have swayed him. Hey, listen, thanks for talking to us, man. Peace. Appreciate that. Nice one.